Welcome to the 51st year at Lake Tahoe Community College. I'm excited to be speaking to you from in front of our new student housing. Isn't this incredible? It's so wonderful that we have this fantastic facility for our students. More on this in a bit. Let me begin with our land acknowledgement with the Washoe tribe. As we come together as an educational community in Lake Tahoe, we acknowledge that we are gathered on the historic lands of its original inhabitants, the Washoe tribe. A land acknowledgement is a recognition of indigenous communities in the stewardship and protection of their cultural resources and homelands. We recognize the Washoe tribe in their native lands, we honor these ancestral grounds upon which we are collectively gathered, and we support the strength and resilience that the Washoe continue to show. Did I say how incredible this building is? I hope you've had a chance to tour it. If not, you'll get one today. What a wonderful place for our students to call home while they pursue their education here at Lake Tahoe Community College. It is indeed my pleasure to welcome everyone to the 2025-26 school year from this location. Thank you to our students, staff, faculty, and community partners that have joined us today for the State of the College address. I'm Nancy Dalton, and I'm the current president of the Board of Trustees. Today I'm joined by fellow board members, Board Clerk, Mr. Kerry David, Dr. Karen Borges, Mr. Jeff Cowan, Mr. Tony Sears, and our new student trustee, Hudson Connors. You'll see a lot of Hudson this year, as he is not only the student trustee, but also an employee in fiscal services, an athlete on our cross-country running team, and a resident assistant in this incredible housing facility. It is through President DeFranco's leadership and vision and the support of his team that our campus has experienced transformational change. And we're not done yet. The board is delighted with all the improvements in the last few years and excited about the future projects here at Lake Tahoe Community College. Please join me in welcoming President Superintendent Jeff DeFranco to the stage.
Welcome, bienvenidos to the 2025 State of the College Address. Big theme for this year is celebrating 50 years here at LTCC. It is amazing if you think about it. We are, next week when we open our doors, is going to be a full circle moment 50 years ago to the day from when we started at this very humble beginnings. This was our campus at a motel on Highway 50, right? Amazing. And we're going to go from that and we're going to be welcoming home students to live here and learn on our campus at LTCC, right? Think about that. So I want to provide a broader welcome to this group. It's great to see a totally packed house here. So many colleagues, staff, faculty, and members of the management team at LTCC. Board members, thank you, Trustee Dalton, for that introduction. Our K-12 partners are joining us here today. Foundation board members, donors, and others, past board members, alumni, recent alumni, longstanding alumni, and many other friends. It's great to have you all here with us today. Special shout out to the live stream. I know there's a lot of people tuning in from near and far. It's great to have you out there watching. And then also to all our students that are over in the Student Center right now that are watching. Awesome. Give us a big scream so we can hear you all the way down at this side of campus. Awesome to have you out there. Glad you're tuning in. All right, who's a first-time SOCA participant? Any first-timers? Okay, welcome, awesome. I want to give you a little roadmap of what to expect for today, and even if you've been here before, we kind of mixed up the formula this year, so it will be a little bit different. First off, prepare to be hopefully entertained and definitely informed. We will highlight our shared accomplishments. We'll tell stories about our students and our team. We will hope to bring in a little levity. We will bring some videos in to bring some other voices to the stage, right? So we can hear from other members of the campus community. We're definitely going to look at some data. We'll look back and look ahead. And we do have a few special announcements to share. So we're going to cover a lot of ground. So just kind of hang on tight to those theater seats. There's a lot to get through and we're going to keep this moving. All right, so before I go any further and get into really the celebration, because that's what today's about. It is about a celebration. I do want to acknowledge that there are many challenges in the world that weigh heavy on many of us at this time. Specific to our work here in higher education is facing more scrutiny than I ever remember during my career. We have uncertainty of funding, especially at the federal level, and the communities we serve are in need of our support more than ever. With that said, the way I've been approaching it, and what I want to encourage you to approach it, is I've been thinking about what can we do together collectively within our sphere of influence here in our community. How can we make a difference for our students? And everyone in this room, if you're in this room, you have the power to impact our local community in a very positive way. And so that's where I'm gonna put my focus here on our local community and what we could do for our students in the year ahead. Maybe like me, you're rushing in today, you're a little late, you're zipping in here, and you didn't have a chance to really kind of ground yourself at LTCC. So I want to give you a chance to kind of connect with campus. Take a look. More anchored in this beautiful place that we get to work and spend our time, and where our students get to learn and now live. But I do want to take a little trip down memory lane because this did not happen overnight, right? 50 years to get this to this moment. We're literally standing on the shoulders of giants that got us to this step. So let's take a look back as we're going to really focus on our 50th anniversary and how do we get here. So, of course, like all things in education, we started with a committee. We love that. This young woman in the middle, 1967, Roberta Mason was the chair. All right, I'm going to need to hold your applause because I'm asking you to do it again. So, Roberta, widely regarded as the mother of the college, 40-plus year board member, still serves on the foundation board. 50 years here, Roberta. You've been at this for 60 or so. We couldn't have done it without you. Stand up so we could see you. Many others helped along the way. Agreed. All right. We already showed you this, right? This was our initial campus on the motel. And there was an original group of faculty, staff, and leaders that really grew this small but mighty college, and our blueprint really came from them. Look at this campus, right? Look at all the services they provided in a very limited space. But they had a vision led by Dr. James Duke to bring a new LTCC campus here where we are today, that beautiful space of land, right? Could you have imagined? And that campus finally completed in 1988. So we'll look back at a little then and now, just to give some context, memories for those of you who are here, and some context for those of you who are new. So we've kind of evolved our brand a little bit. Here we are celebrating 50 years. We'll have the ability to think how we want to put our brand forward in the future as we come out of this. The original mascot was the kokanee. I know I got a couple kokanee alumni here. Yes. I'm personally a fan of the coyote, right? Our fierce mascot really aligns with students. Where's my coyote fans? The kokanees and coyotes, we could all be friends. But take a look at this, right? This is back in 1940. Watch as this campus grew. 1987, right? Give a look. 2012, this is around when the bond program was done. Notice the community playfields coming in. And then this final piece, here we are today, their student housing, the campus. It's just remarkable to see what has happened over 50 years, and especially over the last 35 or so here. Another little context, right? So in the last 25 years, we've more than doubled our square footage. If you look at that 2013-14, right, that's the bond. I'll talk about that later. A lot of changes were made after that. And during that time, not only did we add 50,000 square feet since then, 45% of our main building was remodeled. So this campus is as modern as ever. So looking back, 10-year anniversary, I mean, couple familiar faces. Couple familiar faces. Drew, they spelled your name wrong. We're gonna have them send a correction. Recognized 25 years at the Millennium, 40 years in 2014. Apparently we buried the kokanee. That big grass patch when you walk into campus, I think that's where the kokanee is. And 2014, I mean, we used all the fonts back in 2014, all the best and most beautiful fonts. We really went for it. So over the years, so the original, wait, that's not the right slide. There we go. Original technology wing, Kurt Green looking good. Kurt Green, I hope you're out there watching. To the technology wing today. That first board, again, there's Roberta Mason in the center, who is the chair, to the board that we have today. One thing that has shaped this college is the level of board continuity and board leadership that we have. It's certainly something that has led this college with a steady hand for 50 plus years. Library construction back in 2005. Look at the library now, right? This is definitely a cornerstone of campus. It's where our students gather, not just to get books, but lending library, Chromebooks, and also get their tutoring services. And we'll be having lunch out there today. So definitely part of the cornerstone of campus. The Commons then, and now, it's definitely the heart of campus, right? This is the center of campus, where the energy comes, where we're filled with students. The staff day in 1995, right? A couple familiar faces. 30 years later, look at us now, right? A lot more staff, right? We are growing. That first graduating class, and then last year, I know a couple of you were part of this, the 50th graduating class. We'll take a quick peek at them. Couple familiar faces.
For the moment you've all been waiting for. Class of 2025, you may now move your tassel from the right to the left side. And if you'd like, please throw your caps in the air, because right now we just did it.
All right. So each year we get to honor a handful of students. I'm doing this a little differently this year, and they receive what's called the President Service Award. And this is an award that's given to students that don't only receive success in the classroom, but they also give service to campus and they represent campus. Or as Lisa Schaefer, my assistant, says, they're cool students doing good stuff. So our first President Service Award winner for this year, I don't know if they actually know that they received this, but it's Jenny. Jenny's here, go ahead and just wave. So Jenny has been a great ambassador to this college, is at Sacramento State right now. Have you started? Yep, has started at Sacramento State. She also represented us on the pitch as a student athlete. Let's hear from Jenny.
Hi, I'm Jenny Arias. I'm a first-generation student, and I'm born and raised in South Lake Tahoe. I was a student ambassador for Student Life. I also played for the women's soccer team here at LTCC. I was involved in different clubs like Active Minds, AGS, Student Senate. I am a promised student, and I've really enjoyed attending the workshops because they've allowed me to succeed in college. Being involved in activities outside of the classroom, like being a soccer player, has really helped me stay determined and motivated to continue my education. And being around student life and being a student ambassador, helping students, also helps me be a great person. I'm going to Sacramento State next year. I will be majoring in liberal studies to become an elementary school teacher, and my plan is to possibly come back to Tahoe and become an elementary school teacher here, or get hired somewhere near Sacramento. I would like faculty to know that supporting students outside of the classroom, like tutoring and providing the extra support, really allows students to do great outside of the classroom. The equity program was really great. Providing those snacks in between classes really helps me stay focused. The new construction that was built here at LTCC has to be the dorms. I really like how they're providing that for incoming students. My hope for the next 50 years for LTCC is I hope that they continue to provide the support to the students and grow into a bigger college. My advice for President Jeff DeFranco is to keep supporting students, especially first generation.
All right. Jenny, good job. You had that handled. You weren't nervous at all, right? But Jenny was literally ambassador for us, not only on the pitch, but she was a student ambassador, and she did a lot of great things for LTCC. And so, Jenny, I'm not sure if you know this, but this award also comes with a $2,500 scholarship. So I'm just going to put that in your hand. You know, if you don't got a check in your pocket, what good are you as a president? Congratulations today. Jenny's joined here by her mom. Jenny was born and raised in South Lake Tahoe. Amazing to have you here today. Congratulations again. All right, moving on. We are turning the big 5-0. We are 50 and thriving at LTCC, and there is a lot to be proud of and a lot to be grateful for. Let's take a peek. Maybe you've seen these banners around campus. If not, I encourage you to spend a little time with them. I'll hit some of the high points. At 50 years, we graduated our largest and most diverse class of all time. We've now served more than 130,000 students in our history and growing. In recent years, we've been averaging 10,000 students a year, more than 11,000 last year, so that number is going to keep growing and growing. In the past decade, we've served international students from 47 different countries, right? Amazing here on our campus. And at 50, talk about 50 and thriving, we've reached record student enrollment. So things are going well at LTCC because of all of you that work here and many of you that got us on our path here over the last 50 years. Thank you. All right, I want to talk a little bit about enrollment, give you a sense of where things stand. This is, looks at the last 13 years or so. 12-13 is a milestone year. Those of you that were here may remember we were hit by state-mandated repeatability was hurting us. We were recovering from the economic recession. We had implemented Passport. Student enrollments were down, and it was a concerning time at the college, right? How will we be able to survive? What will that look like? We made a lot of growth and changes. 18-19, if folks remember that, we were really on the upswing. I remember January 2020, we were like, this is great. What could go wrong? So anyways, we got hit by COVID, and then a kind of second punch by Caldor Fire, and that definitely impacted our student enrollments. But the last couple years, we've been on the rise. We've had 40% growth since 2021-22, right? Amazing. And for context, 2,400 full-time equivalent students, right? And that is a number that seemed insurmountable just a couple years back. So where's the growth came from? I know many have asked. Our face-to-face numbers are on the rebound. This past year is our highest face-to-face number since pre-COVID, so that's great. More students are coming to have classes here on campus. Online education, of course, continues to take off, especially post-pandemic as more students are comfortable working in an online environment. We also have some great partnerships really serving our local community, our high school students, so dual enrollment. We have students getting college credits while they're in high school with our partners at LTSD. That's been a big part of our growth. And then concurrent enrollment. These are high school students that are ready for college, and we're providing opportunities for them to take a class with us. Maybe they're taking it online during the summer or even during the school year, maybe here on the campus, and it gives them a head start on college, and at the end of the day, it reduces their total college costs as they get these classes out of the way at high school. So that's another area I want to continue to grow and really make sure that we're serving our students, not only from the Basin, but the entire state. Our Rising Scholars program, which serves our justice-involved students, has been a big area of growth. I'm going to talk more about it later, so I'll come back to that. So again, I know you see numbers here, but full-time equivalent students, these represent lives, but it also provides a lot of resources, right? It makes the difference in the resources we have available. So as we continue to grow with these additional resources, we could do more things for our students. We could offer better services for our community. We could do all the things that we've dreamed of here at LTCC. So for context, just talking about resources, I don't know if a lot of folks are tracking this, but context. So back in 16-17, our reoccurring revenue annually across all our funds was about $20 million. This year, the fiscal year we're in right now, $48 million, right? It's huge, significant growth, and that's allowed us to add so many more student supports and so many more services to our community. If you remember in the past, at least some of our employees remember this, I talked about the importance of the 24-25 academic year. That was the year that would set our new baseline of funding through the state student center formula. We said, hey, we need to do it. This is a big year. The good news is you all knocked it out of the park. And we had, our all-time year in 24-25. Like, what a time. It's like having your best game in the Game 7 of the NBA Finals, right? Like, we had it when it mattered. And what that's done for us is our core funding from the state, our floor, has now raised from $19 million to $26 million. So that's our funding floor. And so that's a safety net that the college has that we could count on, that we know these core student services will be able to continue to offer to this community. Yeah, that's exciting. Somebody likes budgets. But we do know enrollment can be fickle. Again, we've seen that 40% growth since 21-22. I don't expect or assume that that's going to continue, but it's more now about how we can stabilize, right? We want to get off the roller coaster of enrollments. How do we stabilize? How do we make sure we're still putting in the hustle and make sure that 24-25 goes flat and doesn't, go for a dip, right? How do we get off that roller coaster? I do want to provide a little bit of a cautionary tale about some headwinds that are out there facing all educational agencies. This is a report called Knocking at the College Door. There's two key findings. High school graduate numbers peaked in 2025 and are expected to decline between now and 2041, right? California is going to have 30% less high school graduates during that time, right? That is so many less students showing up on our doorstep, right? So they're not going to just come to us. So what does that mean we need to do? It means we need to get better at going to them. We need to serve not just traditional age students, but students that have some college no degrees, students that need upskills and career technical education, right? So we need to make sure the students we have persist and complete. So just a little bit of a rallying cry that we need to keep up the hustle if we want to continue to serve students and keep the campus of this size. I'll look at some of the local data. This is from LTCC's enrollment projections. As you can see also, those birth rates, right, they're going through the state, they're going through our community, they are declining. Some of the results is 16% in the high school by 2030, 23% in 12th grade by 2030, right? So there's going to be less students actually coming out of our local high schools, which is really our core base of students. And it's not about the numbers, but those are our face-to-face students. Those are our engaged students. Those are our ambassadors and our student leaders. So we're going to have to be better about engaging students and showing them that there is value here at Lake Tahoe Community College to continue to move forward as an institution. So with that said, I know that was a little bit of a downer. I was warned maybe not to do that. Things are going great, right? Things are going great. But it's just, we should have awareness, right? We don't want to sit on our laurels. And the good news is we have a lot going for us at LTCC. To be frank, there's a lot of colleges that want a piece of Lake Tahoe, right? I don't know if anyone saw this summer, right? UC Davis are kind of making a claim on Lake Tahoe with their new football uniforms. Maybe you heard the folks at University of Nevada, Reno. They had some strong opinions about it. This coach had a couple things to say. Let's hear what he has to say.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I'm sorry, UC Davis, but that's a fail in my book. Number one, like Lake Tahoe obviously is a gorgeous place, but the shape of the lake itself isn't really that majestic. It kind of looks like a blob, right?
Boo! Hey, it's a blob, but it's our blob. Right? I'd say it's majestic. Who's with me? Yeah? All right. So they just want to be us, but here's the deal. It is no contest. It is no contest. There is only one comprehensive college in the entire Lake Tahoe, and it is the Lake Tahoe Community College. So, eat your hearts out, UNR and UC Davis. All right, again, one of the things I want to do today is celebrate the milestones. There's so many milestones that we have. Obviously, LTCC is turning 50, but our foundation also turned 30 this year. So many of you helped with that. Our extended opportunity programs and services as a statewide program turned 55 this year. That benefits many of our students. And our Rising Scholars program turned 10 years old, transforming lives. So I want to talk about all of them. But also I want to highlight, there's a couple pop culture ones, right? SNL turned 50. Any SNL fans? Yeah, I definitely watched a lot of SNL this past year. What about Hamilton? Any Hamilton fans? Yeah, I'm glad to see there's some Hamilton fans. So I got to admit, I like to think I'm an early adopter with most things, but I was a late adopter to Hamilton. I just got into Hamilton, but I am a fan. So I was thinking, wouldn't it be cool if we could get somebody like Lin-Manuel Miranda to come introduce our student housing building to campus, like a little cameo, right, or a collab? We couldn't get him. So we kind of had to settle for the Temu version. So I'll encourage you just to take a look and be gentle.
A brand new building, never lived in, just risen, become the place where we declare this is the home we've envisioned. How do we create a building that's buzzing with ambition? A home for learning, laughter, community, and vision. Walk through the doors, hear the cheers. After 10 long years, housing is here. Housing is here. It's more than bricks, more than stone. It's where dreams grow. And when students walk inside, we'll greet them so they know. We are not throwing away our shot. We are not throwing away our shot. Hey, yo, just like our college, we are small but mighty, and we're not throwing away our shot. Get your education, don't forget from which you came, and the world's gonna know your name. What's your name, man? Lake Tahoe Community College. Our name is LTCC. Welcome home to a future we create. Just you wait. Just you wait.
Oh, man. Woo. That's going to be my first and last musical. But Hamilton, the Hamilton fans, did you hear the lines? Can you hear the parallels? All right. So that's a little bit of a sneak peek of housing, right? Pretty cool. We're going to keep feeding you housing. You get the full tour by the time the presentation's over. All right, that was a fun anniversary. But the important anniversary is the 50 years, right? So we are celebrating 50 years at LTCC. We're joined by Dr. Guy Lease, past president. I know Dr. Jim Duke and Dr. Kinder Murillo, past presidents, are on the live stream. This wouldn't be possible without their leadership, but also without all of you and so many of our staff, faculty, and board leaders from the past. Let's hear some voices from the past of what they have to say about LTCC.
50 years ago, a bold vision took root in South Lake Tahoe, a place where education meets adventure. One interesting little story about that first year, I started to leave and my wife said, "Where are you going?" And I said, "I'm going to work." She said, "Where?" We rented a motel, we remodeled it, got it all ready, hired faculty. We told people, you have to pick the textbook, you have to write the course outline, you have to do it all. But you're in control. There's nobody telling you what to do. You get to do it like you think it ought to be done. We were right at the last minute hanging blackboards on Sunday afternoon, getting ready for Monday morning. We had no idea who was going to show up for classes. And about 900 showed up. Well, that was exciting, but I think it worked out well.
Our classes were very small, welcoming, and inclusive. I attended Lake Tahoe Community College in the 80s, and we were still at the motel on Highway 50.
It took 14 years. We were in the motel, and Dr. Duke said, "We're going to get a campus, a permanent campus." The board set aside some money each year in the budget, and finally Dr. Duke was able to get land, this land that we're on now, and then start the process of building a permanent campus.
It was just the main building when I arrived in 1994, and then they built that fabulous fine arts building. That and this library and the gallery has all come, the phys ed building, the Lisa Maloff University Center. It's just so fabulous to see how the college has grown over the years that I've been here.
I could not ever have envisioned the beautiful campus that we have today.
There are certainly many milestones that made LTCC what it is today, but for me, it's November 2014 when we passed the Measure F General Obligation Bond. Without the passing of that bond, we wouldn't have the campus we have today. with new innovative classrooms. We wouldn't be on track to open housing and a public safety training complex. That moment certainly shaped who we are today and our future. My vision for the future of LTCC is a vibrant residential campus where students can learn and live, a great educational environment with engaged faculty and amazing educational resources, all here in the vibrancy of our campus and the beautiful surrounding environment of Lake Tahoe.
Providing education locally for the students, I think that's been the biggest impact.
That's what makes us different. We try to serve our local needs with special programs.
What makes LTCC so special is that it's small. It's small, but it's mighty.
The LTCC community certainly embraces its role as an underdog, and everyone loves an underdog, right? We say that we're small but mighty. We do big things with a small staff and a small campus, but we are certainly making waves in Lake Tahoe, our region, and the entire state of California and beyond. I want to give a heartfelt thank you and a real celebration to all the individuals that made the 50-year history of Lake Tahoe Community College possible. Whether it's our faculty who are working day in and day out directly with our students, all our classified and student support professionals, the many volunteers, donors, and of course, board members. This would not be possible without all of you. Thank you for your role in our history, and please join me in our future. 50 years of excellence, 50 years of dreams, and we're just getting started. Here's to 50 years.
Pretty amazing, right? Pretty amazing, the humble beginnings of this college. I want to point you out to this. Did anyone see this in the foyer out there? It's a timeline. If you haven't had a chance, I encourage you when the presentation is over to head outside and give it a look. There are so many milestones and so many individuals, many of them in this room, that help make this possible. All right. Moving on, we also were able to bring together many individuals from the past to celebrate our 50th anniversary at the 50th anniversary gala this past May. One thing that was most important about that is we actually raised $40,000 for our Promise program, but it was a great awesome. It was a great opportunity to recognize our partners and also bring back so many staff that got the college where it was, right? You see some familiar faces here, people that have been part of the college over the years. And just to celebrate them and thank them for everything they did in making the college what it is today. John Perry, longtime faculty member, right? So a lot of history there. Another thing that we did this summer is we recognized our awesome alumni. And let me tell you, LTCC has so many awesome alumni. It was a very difficult choice, but we got down to 50 awesome alumni that we decided to recognize for our 50th anniversary. About 20 of them showed up here to campus in August, and we got to show them around. And I want to highlight a couple of them for you. Our first student trustee, Jeff Braun, class of 1978, he went on to be the co-founder of Maxis, the studio behind SimCity, right? So and what I want you to hear from this is, from here, you can go anywhere. John Gardner, I know John's here with us today, LTCC 1993. John made a career in prioritizing excellent customer experience from retail to his current work with a nonprofit. He was also a student body leader. Here's John and I. He brought me this super cool custom LTCC jacket. We're twinsies. Nice. Nice. I love it, you guys. John is great. Definitely John's number one fan. Awesome to have you here. Ian Reuter, class of 93. He's had, with his mentor, Pat Leonard Hefner, renowned photographer with shows in Paris, London, New York City. And guess what? He's coming home to have a show here at LTCC this fall. So check that out. Our friend Joe Urban, the South Lake Tahoe city manager. I don't know if you know, the city manager is an LTCC alum. He was our commencement speaker this year, right? The alum got to connect with the students. Cindy Martinez joining us here today. Principal, South Tahoe Middle School, educational leader, got her start here at LTCC. Again, from here, you can go anywhere. Sonia Rader, LTCC 2005. She currently serves as a general counsel at Planned Parenthood Pasadena. She is a healthcare advocate. We're thrilled to call her an alum. Cameron Allen, he's a scientist at Los Alamos National Laboratory, and he's showing you how far an LTCC STEM degree could take you. And last but certainly not least, a couple familiar faces from some of our LTCC team members and leaders. It is a great bunch. We are thrilled to bring them together and honor them. I want to encourage you to check out the website, read about all of them. Bob Hassett, another one of our awesome 50, managing member at Round Hill Pines Resort. He is actually helping us. He's hosting a Promise fundraiser in September to raise money for the Promise program. Bob, thanks for your continued partnership and generosity. We truly have some amazing alumni. Check them all out. Get online. Learn about these alumni. And again, students, parents, anyone else that's considering LTCC, from here, you can go anywhere. Up next, our next big decision is we'll have a committee together that will be selecting our 50 influential individuals. There's a couple of nominees and considerations up there. I know, they always slide that in, the slide team. Moving on, so we'll hear more of them. All right, actually I want to get the big thing. Welcome home to LTCC. So who's here because they want to hear about student housing? Who's interested in student housing? Couple folks, all right, awesome. Again, we welcome students this week on Monday. Literally just happened to live and learn on the LTCC campus. Here is the facility. It is beautiful. And it's this took a while, right? So this was a decade in the making to go from a dream to a reality. And this building actually went up in about 2 years. Which was remarkably fast, I think, all things considered. Thank you to the TRPA, the city, and our other partners that helped us move this building along quickly, and of course, Creekside Builders, our architectural partners, our project management partners, and others. Pretty exciting, right? Pretty exciting, pretty full circle moment. We had hoped, of course, like all things in construction, to maybe finish in July, invite you all in for a bunch of tours, but we are literally painting things in the building last Friday night with students moving in this Monday. And here it is. This is actually move-in day, so you could see the student cars and vehicles. This was Monday, students coming in for the first time to have access to the full building. So pretty amazing. Some of you are around for it. We kind of quickly grabbed who was in town, and we decided to cut a ribbon this summer because we had some early arriver students. We had about 25 students that needed to get access to campus because they needed to start early for some different things. And in true LTCC fashion, like we like to build the airplane while flying it. Well, in this case, we had students live in the building while constructing it. We had all the fire and life safety stuff covered, but they lived in the first floor while we were finishing the second floor. So we said, hey, we should probably cut a ribbon. And I know many of you are there for that, but we know more of you are interested, and we want to get our community out there. If you're in this room, you will be invited. We're going to do a dedication ceremony and open house on Thursday, October 2nd. We want to show it off to you. And the beauty of it is, instead of just seeing an empty building, you'll actually get to see a building filled with life and with students and with vibrancy and see the power that is housing. So it's pretty amazing. We're excited about it. A special shout out. So many people worked on housing. They are not all in this photo, but this was the Residential Living Guiding Coalition that thought about all the details from food service to parking to security to all these different things. How are we going to do it? So I want to thank them for their efforts in celebrating and helping open our doors. All right, so I know Timu Hamilton gave us kind of a preview, but who wants to see an official tour of the Inside Housing Building? Are you ready to see a tour? Yes. All right. Hi, everyone. Lake Tahoe Community College President Jeff DeFranco here. We are here at the new Student Housing Building, 2 College Drive. Amazing addition to the Lake Tahoe Community College campus. This outdoor space is kind of our entrance, our welcoming space, plenty of places to hang out, picnic benches, park your bike. And of course, we brought in a little artwork. This piece titled Rushmore was originally displayed at Burning Man on the Playa in 2024 and has now found a permanent home here on the Lake Tahoe Community College campus. Come with me and let's take a look inside of our new student housing building. Here we are inside our brand new student housing building. This is the front desk where student workers will be. Really cool gathering area here as you wait for your fellow students to come down the stairs. And this is the lounge or the living room for student housing, if you will. We want to create an amazing spot where students could hang out. Trout Creek, the meadow back here, a space where you could spend your time, watch a show, maybe the snow's coming in, hang out by this fireplace. We really want to create a sense of comfort and warmth for our students. Definitely one of my favorite parts of this entire building is this view of the Trout Creek Meadow, all this natural daylight, really open space for our students to spend their time. We'll go ahead and check out the community kitchen that's available to all our student housing residents. Let's take a look. This is our community kitchen that's available for all our student residents to use. Microwave, sink, stove, dishwasher, they got it all. They can come together here with roommates and friends and prepare a meal. This is one of our 3 wings for student residents. It's made up of predominantly double occupancy rooms, but we do have a handful of single occupancy as well. Each room has its own whiteboard outside where students can leave notes. Every student will have their own key card to gain access to the building and their room. Let's take a peek inside. This is our most common setup at the LTCC student housing building. This is a double occupancy space. As you'll see, there's 2 beds, 2 dressers, 2 desks for students. The furniture is designed to be light so students can move it around to their own liking. There's also a dedicated closet for each student. And really important for us here at LTCC, since we don't have year-round, 7-day-a-week food service, is the kitchenette space. We wanted students to have the ability to prepare very simple meals in their bedroom, keep things in a good-sized fridge, have access to a sink and a microwave, and this space delivers just that. So each room has a restroom adjacent to it. In this, our most common setup, you have 2 double occupancy rooms, so 4 students that share this restroom space. We did a lot of work to really bifurcate it so students could have privacy. There's a separate toilet room, a separate shower room, and then of course this sink area. This wing is the study corridor for students. We want to create a place where they can hang out, study, meet with friends, relax, stream something to the TV. It also connects to the student center, so it's our closest connection to the main campus. This facility is also outfitted with an on-site laundry room, so all our students can do their laundry. We are outside our student housing building. This is on the north side, closest to the main campus, and there's a lot of important amenities that we provided for our students, like these parcel lockers where they can receive packages. Each student has their own mailbox to receive mail here. We also provided secured and covered bike parking and skateboard parking for students. And then this heated pathway that just connects them right to the student center, literally a matter of seconds from getting to the housing building onto the main campus. It is my pleasure to showcase Lake Tahoe Community College's new student housing. Thank you to our local and state partners for making this dream a reality for our students and our community. From a college with humble beginnings that started in a small hotel on Highway 50, we are now thrilled to welcome home students to LTCC. What do you think? Pretty amazing, right? There was no detail was not thought of, and our students are now here. This is earlier this week. This was Coyote check-in this week. We had students coming in. We were able to welcome them home. We have our whole RA team over here. I literally saw a couple dozen snowboards brought into this facility. So pretty exciting for the students. They were joined by sometimes their friends and their parents, and I could tell you pretty universally they were just so impressed. I mean, the space, the rooms, the location. A couple of students that were just brand new to Tahoe for the first time, first day. Also, that sculpture, pretty cool, right? One of our local mascots, Yogi, the library dog, making some new friends over by it. So it's going to be a pretty exciting year, but again, you know, when you bring nearly 100 students to campus, it could be interesting, and we're expecting maybe a little bit of a real world twist. We'll see.
This is a true story of 97 students picked to live under one roof, to live and learn together. Find out what happens when classes get tough and the Wi-Fi gets low and everyone's fighting for the laundry room.
Welcome to Lake Tahoe Community College Student Housing. Don't burn the building down.
Moving in seems scary at first, but trust me, you will make a lot of friends.
It's going to be fun. We're going to be playing like board games and stuff with the residents here in the next couple days, like two truths in a line, ladder toss, like things like that. So that'll be fun. Bingo. We're going to do a scavenger hunt. All kinds of cool stuff.
My name is Hudson Connors. This is my third year living in Tahoe. Originally, when I interviewed for the job of RA, they were so impressed that they offered me Jeff's job, but I decided to let him have it and just stick with the RA job. I think that's what best suited me.
I felt like the second I got here, I was kind of welcomed with open arms. Everyone wanted to make sure I felt comfortable, felt like I knew where I needed to be, and I would say expect that if you have any nerves about it, they're going to go away the second you get here.
I mean, honestly, being here is quite amazing. I'm not gonna lie. First, just stepping in the doors of the new dorm, I was like, wow, this is such an amazing place. First time ever being in Tahoe as well. I mean, I'm loving it. Already first day, I'm already loving it so much.
All right, so stand by for Real World LTCC Student Housing Edition Season 1. So we actually have quite a housing portfolio right now. We have our off-campus housing at the Aspen Apartments and now on-campus housing. I know a lot of people ask me, like, who's in housing? On the whole, the majority of them are traditionally aged students. Probably about 18% of them are 18 to 21. But we have students all the way up 20, 30, 40, and beyond. Our demographics, our race and ethnicity status pretty much match and align with our face-to-face students here on campus. Our off-campus student housing, about 2/3 of them are out-of-state and international students, right? And about 1/3 of California residents. You'll notice a lot of student athletes as well in off-campus housing. On campus is 100% California residents based on our rules with the state of California. About a half of them are promised students and growing. Obviously, a lot less student housing student athletes here, and about 1/3 of them are first generation. But look at where they come from. This is amazing. This is the most amazing stat. So I have met students this last week from San Diego, San Clemente, Fresno, Chico, Mendocino, and then a lot of the Highway 50 corridor, Highway 80 corridor, Placerville. We are a destination for these students to come live and learn in Lake Tahoe. And some of you may remember this, right? This was a vision that we worked on all the way back in 2013-14, this 2014 vision, and we've accomplished pretty much everything on this list. And the core of it was this idea to become a destination college to serve regional, national, and international students, which we are doing, and to have a residential campus. And I'll tell you what, nothing says we did it like a mission accomplished banner. We did it. So just amazing to set a vision and literally over a decade, more than a decade, see it come to fruition. With that, we've had to expand some of our campus services and hours. So I want to share a little update about that. Our Fitness Education Center is now going to 7 days a week. It'll be open on Sundays. A lot of yes, there's some, yes! Our housing students will have access to that. We're excited about that. The library, we added an additional hour in the evenings, Monday through Thursday, and we expanded our day on Sunday based on some feedback from students, some student surveys to make that more available. Tutoring services, we put some additional resources, specifically with a focus on additional math and English tutoring that we hope to offer this year, as well as more online tutoring will be offered via NetTutor. We're increasing that as well. So again, as we have more students and they're here on campus, we're expanding our services. Also, proctoring beginning the third week of the quarter. The instruction office will be organizing this. We'll have proctoring time frames 4 days a week. So a lot of expanding services, and probably none more important than food service. Now, you're not going to be able to get the old 96er there. Probably not a pineapple beverage, but we do have mocktails from an alumni vendor at lunch today. So I encourage you to check that out. Yes. Food service opened yesterday, in the nick of time, or as sometimes my staff say, Jeff in time. We will have lunch and dinner we have lunch and dinner from noon to 7, 4 days a week. And what's great about it, noon to 7, it's open, so it's flexible for your teaching schedule, your work schedule. It'll be available, of course, to all our student residents, but also available to all of you. Let's hear more about our new food service program.
We want to welcome Pacific Dining to the LTCC campus. We are so excited to have dining services on campus for the first time in over a decade. We'll be serving lunch and dinner Monday through Thursday. Menu options are very exciting as well. We will have a pizza station, a Mexican food station, a deli station, and a grill station. We will also have a lunch and dinner special every single day.
So we are a small family-owned business, been in industry for over 36 years already. We have over 27 locations throughout California, and we're super excited to be here at Lake Tahoe Community College, and we're ready to serve delicious and nutritious food to the staff member and college students as well.
I've worked all over the world. I've been in Michelin star restaurants in Chicago, and then I made my venture out here just a few years ago, and I'm loving it so far. We'll have a little bit of everything. We'll have the Casa Sabor, so we'll have your quesadillas, your burritos, some burgers, and then we'll have our deli, some fresh sandwiches as well. Look for our daily dinner specials. We're gonna have a rotating menu. It's gonna be changing every week and every night. I think everyone will like what we have, and I'm excited to get started.
For incoming students, I think it's especially exciting because, well, you know, being here for a long time, you kind of start to understand that it's hard when there's no food on campus for a number of reasons, especially if you're an athlete or if you're a student worker or if you just have a really long class on campus, it's hard to kind of adjust and pack for those things. Having food service here makes it so that they don't have to worry about food and they can worry more about academics and their success in the classroom. I'm simply excited for their burgers. Their burgers were probably the best thing that I had on their menu, and I'm also excited for those specialty dishes that they'll have every week or so.
You'll be able to access the menu online through the LTCC website, where you'll be able to order food ahead and pick it up in the dining hall. You'll be able to customize your order and even pick up dinner for your family. Creekside Café will be open to all students and staff, as well as community members. LTCC is excited to welcome Pacific Dining to our campus. We invite all students, staff, and community members to join us at the Creekside Café in the Student Center.
All right. You all are invited to the Creekside Cafe. It's not only for our students, it's for the community, it's for our staff. Please come check it out. And to help incentivize your participation and in alignment with our values, we're going to send home everyone today with this new set of reusable cutlery, right? Because we're trying to be sustainable as a campus. We have some purchasing policies around this. All our housing students are getting one of these today. They're out there right now getting one of these today so they can have them. Encourage you, if you're on campus, carry it with you, take it down there and kind of help us meet our sustainability goals. So transitioning from food service, we'll talk about cheese. And the concept of who moved my cheese. When there's a lot of change, it's always challenging, right? And so we know that. So one of the other big changes this year is parking. And apparently we looked back at this is the 1976 LTCC press, and a couple debates have shifted over the years, but the one about parking challenges has remained constant. The caption reads, photographer Kirk Rogers has to squeeze out of the newspaper office due to cramped parking conditions in front of the lot at Lake Tahoe Community College. Maybe you remember this guy. So we are going to be full, right? Like a lot of good things are happening. We have added row 3. It is reserved for our residential living students based on student feedback and discussions. Each of them have their own parking permit. They have their own numbered spot. That is their spot. It might have been your favorite spot. It's no longer your favorite spot. It is theirs now. So you see those yellow lines, don't cross them. But it's to give you a visual cue. There's some signage. As you can see, each spot is numbered. All those residential parking passes have been allocated, or I think the final ones are being allocated this Friday. So those spots will be sold, but they're here. They got to park overnight. They're in the middle of the hallway. They're in the middle of the parking lot. All right, but we know parking is often a challenge in Tahoe. Maybe you've seen this one.
Hey, buddy. You can't park there. You can't park there. Go, crap. Oh, it's so big.
Maybe you've seen the can't park here memes, but it's a real thing on campus. Let's take a look.
Can't park there.
But I'm the president.
You can't park there. You can't park there.
What do you mean I can't park here? I gotta load up a bunch of stuff at the end of the day.
You can't park there.
But I'm within the lines.
You can't park there.
Data suggests otherwise.
You can't park there. Student parking only.
But this is my favorite spot.
Hey, you can't park there. Lot's full.
Guys?
Hey, you can't park there. It's EV parking only.
Rusty said I could do it.
Hey, you can't park there.
But I got the Welcome to County Country license plate.
Hey, you can't park there.
Hey, I'm not parking. I'm just picking up my kid.
Hey, you can't park there.
Oh, I'm just unloading my waterbed.
Can't park there.
It's okay. I'm a local.
It's okay, I'm a local. I know everyone's got that excuse, but we're going to make it kind of a shared goal. We're going to work on parking success this year as a campus. And, you know, we wouldn't have all these parking problems if we hadn't grown so much. And one of the reasons we've grown so much is Measure F. So we want to take a look back on everything that's accomplished, approved by our local voters in 2014, supported by our voters. We made a number of commitments. I'm going to show you the ballot language. I'm going to show you what we've accomplished. So we said modernize academic classrooms and student support spaces, check. Upgrade student commons, done. Construct an early learning center, did it. Provide a university center, we did a lot more than we thought we were going to do there. Improve recreational facilities, yep. New soccer field. Upgrade pedestrian corridors and bike paths. If you do not know, this is our campus. We paid for this bridge. We made this happen here at LTCC. Approve vehicle circulation, ADA improvements, student and staff safety continues to move forward. Core building infrastructure, right? It's nice when the heater works, even when it's cold in the theater. Expand campus technology, new server room, right? And the final thing, the final big thing on the list, we're about to check that box. That's construct a regional public safety training center. And we are on our way. We are breaking ground in 2026 this summer. And we're going to be able to put a check in that box and say, we did it. So the Tahoe Basin Public Safety Training Complex is coming, breaking ground this summer, coming in 2027. This was made possible with $6 million here locally from Measure F and another $7 million from the state of California that was awarded to us. It will become the permanent home of the fire, forestry, emergency medical services, and other programs. It is our intent to double our student enrollment capacity through having this lab facility here on our campus. It also provides training for fire and forestry partner agencies. A couple more details. It's a 100,000 square foot training tarmac. There's a training tower for vertical rescue. That was actually made possible by a federal earmark from Senator Dianne Feinstein and Senator Alex Padilla's office. There's a water reclamation system, so it captures all the water and reuses it in the hydrants so we can continue to practice and be environmentally sustainable. There's a 7,000 square foot storage facility to keep all the engines and all that equipment there, and it is truly a multidisciplinary facility, and to me, it's the final cornerstone for the campus and the completion of Measure F. And the Coyote says, Measure F, mission accomplished. I'm also proud that LTCC was selected to lead a statewide effort related to forest and forestry. So the state had $15 million, and they said, we're going to give 7 of that to LTCC for this facility. Nice. We're going to give you another $1.6 million to be the statewide technical assistant provider, and you're going to guide these other 18 colleges who are going to give each $300,000 apiece that have forestry and fire programs to talk about best practices, to conduct trainings, and to report back on the state on how do we make sure that this very important future workforce in forestry and fire continues to grow and is well trained here in California. So very proud of our leadership role in that regard. And also very proud of getting more than our fair share of the money. So I introduced you earlier to 2 College Drive. I want to introduce you to another college facility. I've been talking about it here. This will be at 343 College Drive. And if you don't know, in the fire service, 343 is a symbol of sacrifice and bravery. It recognizes the vital roles that firefighters and other first responders and public safety officers play in protecting our community. And it's fitting to be sharing this detail today. This is a recent decision in consultation with our fire partners and our city partners. because 343 gets its origins from 9/11. And here we are actually 24 years later, and it was 343 firefighters that were killed in the 9/11 attacks. And that has become a rallying cry for cadets and public safety professionals and firefighters, understanding the sacrifice of that role and what they go into every day as a professional in firefighting safety. And so we are honored to partner with them and to put that address on that building to recognize that sacrifice and to share with our cadets how important it is when they take on the fire service. So Measure F, our community made a $55 million investment in us. It was our dream to make a dollar for dollar of additional match through federal, state, and philanthropic funds. We actually exceeded our goal and brought in $127 million of campus investments through the community's initial investment. Is that a good deal, community? I hope you think so. So I want to share the results of a recent economic impact report that we've done. Of course, you all understand our social impact and our life-changing impact, but I want to share some of our economic impact. We'll start with Measure F. So as Measure F is scheduled to complete, the total local in the region economic impact of Measure F is $86.5 million, 36 local jobs created each year from Measure F alone. Awesome, right? I'll wait for all this stuff, sorry. But listen to this, our impact in the community is even greater, right? So this is spending by all of you, our employees, the district's operations, and then most importantly, our students. Look at all that money that they bring into the community. And this is only local spending. This doesn't count buying a car in Reno or a trip to Disneyland. And in our last 10 years, our operating economic impact is $722 million in our community. Think of a community without Lake Tahoe Community College. Think about those jobs at Sedella's and Ernie's. We are supporting them. We know that. And these are the number of jobs. 434 jobs were created in our community thanks to all of you and the spending of our students, because we are here, because we exist. So as LTCC has grown, so has our economic impact in the community has grown. With that said, of course, our core function is our social impact, our increasing access to college, our role in workforce development. We're a hub for arts, culture, and speakers, student and family well-being, childcare, mental health counseling, food assistance, so on and so forth. But want to let you know that LTCC is changing the community in many ways. So pretty impressive, I think. So what about our student outcomes? Well, I could tell you we are literally off the charts. Our primary goal is getting associate's degrees. Look at those numbers. We gave out 371 associate degrees last year. So that is an all-time mark to 265 students. Certificates, this was an area that was a challenge for us for many years. We've made a huge boost in that. We're getting students certificates that help them get jobs. Also transfer, we had a little dip in those post-COVID era, but we are working on that. We're growing. Rural communities still struggle to continue to transfer. It's hard to leave your community and move. And so we want to support that. That's why we provide so many scholarships to students. We are also joining a statewide rural transfer work group that is working on this to create greater pipelines and pathways to our CSU partners. But one thing that we are doing is providing these transfer trips. This was funded through our HSI STEM grant. 20 students got to visit UCLA and USC to learn about transfer, right? We know our state needs STEM students more than ever, and we are doing our part, but they also got to tour Belkin and Wrigley Institute for Marine Sciences so they could connect those classes and those degrees with real-world jobs in STEM. We also had some funding that allowed students to stay at CSU Sacramento State in the dorms this summer and visit UC Davis, because we need to make those warm handoffs to the campuses. You have with you, hopefully you received a progress update on your way in. There is so much more data in it. There's a whole annual data outlook. I am not going to cover it all. We'd be here all day. But I encourage you to dig into there, and what you'll see is some important trends. I was talking about the STEM fields. Again, this is made possible by our federal Hispanic Serving Institution grant. We have more students overall pursuing STEM fields since we've had this grant, right? So the grant focuses on our Latinx and low-income students, but all our students are benefiting. And not only are more students enrolling, more students are graduating, and we know our state and our nation needs more students with STEM degrees. This is a direct result of this federal investment. So there's a lot of good data in there. Please check it out. All right, anniversaries. What about our Rising Scholars Program turning 10 this year? So this program is, this is a very important program for us. It's changing lives. We celebrated our 10-year anniversary. We brought back alumni to speak. We had these students that actually were able to come up and receive their California Naturalist Certificate. RSP, as you know, is changing lives. This is one of the areas that we've seen significant growth on our campus in recent years. That's the full-time equivalent students. But there's a lot more important stuff that it's doing. Look at, 357 degrees awarded. More than 4,500 students served in it. But for these students also awarded 873 cumulative years of sentence reductions for these students that are trying to improve their lives. This is a recent RSP grad, Delos Moore, and Delos took a class, History of Earth and Its Life, with Mark Lawler, a longtime part-time faculty member for us in geology. And I believe that this faculty member touched the student and really changed his life and inspired a love of geology and rocks. Let's hear from Delos.
Hey guys, how we doing? Delos Moore coming at you live in effect. Just wanted to tell you a quick story about our Rising Scholar Program. I had flew out to Lake Tahoe, and we were out there kayaking on the lake, and I was doing a little rock finding mission, as I usually do when I travel. And Shane was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Man, I'm just looking for rocks, man." I got into rocks while I was doing my geology course while I was incarcerated still at High Desert State Prison, and had real crazy rocks out there. I found a really dope rock because it had quartz in it, and it looked like gold flakes in it, and you can tell where the differentiation is, you know what I'm saying? You can see the rust in it. It had a lot of stuff, so it was a really cool rock. And Shane was like, what's going on, man? And I was explaining to him how I got into my rock thing, and then Jeff was standing right there, and I told Jeff, and fast forward into our graduation day, I was probably, I think, the last person or the second to last person to walk across the stage that day. And while I was walking across, Jeff gave me a really dope turquoise rock, man, and it just really resonated with me. It was really cool. It was a really cool gift, one of the coolest gifts I ever got, and just the thought of it, you know what I mean? And it made me feel like no little U's and big me's, you know what I mean? We're all on the same level, and it just you know what I'm saying? It really touched my heart as far as how that, you know what I mean, what he did for me on that special day, man. I'll never forget that day. I mean, if I ever forget it, I have a memento that can actually tie it right back to the point where I felt the greatest in that moment, you know. So just a little story, RSP story. Thank y'all so much.
So that program is touching lives. I mean, Delo shared with me, he said, I actually took a rock out of prison, right, to share with me. And he's a geologist, right? He's an aspiring geologist now, and it was due to that faculty member that really inspired that love of rocks for him. So here's Delos at graduation. He's got a little turquoise rock in his hand. You notice his turquoise ring, so pretty cool. What a full circle moment for him. Another program that's changing lives is EOPS. It's a state-funded program. It turned 55 this year. Pretty amazing. Here's our students celebrating the program, but look at the outcomes. It's got a small team, but look at the number of graduates. They've more than doubled in the last 5 years. This year, they had the largest ever EOPS graduating cohort. Here they are at the Stoll ceremony. Kudos to that team doing great things for students. So another one of our President's Service Award recipients is Hector Palacios. I think many of you know Hector. Hector is at UC Berkeley right now. He has 3 classes today. So we told him, we're like, hey, first term at UC Berkeley, you should probably go to class. He was the tutor of the year last year, all around great human being. Let's hear Hector's story.
Hi, my name is Hector Palacios. I'm a student at LTCC, a third-year student, and a proud graduate. During my time at LTCC, beyond my classes, I was involved in various clubs, including the Student Senate, the AGS Honor Society, and more recently, the Chess Club here at LTCC. Antonio Benitez, he has been of great help to me. He has guided me through every step that I needed to take in order to be able to attend the university of my dreams, which is UC Berkeley. And I'm so thankful for that. And my end goal is to become one day a social worker and a psychotherapist. To all the faculty and staff at LTCC, I wanted to tell you that I'm very thankful for all the help that you offer to all the students, because you don't even imagine how much of an impact are you having on these students building their futures. I appreciate you so much. At LTCC, you don't have to work alone. You're not alone. The staff at LTCC and the faculty are here to help you on your journey, so you should take advantage of that to maximize your learning and your journey at LTCC. Out of all the new constructions here at LTCC, I gotta say my favorite is a Greenway Trail. And I say this because as a tutor, sometimes on our break, me and my tutor friends, we just like to go for walks in there and, just relax a little bit from all the work. President DeFranco, please keep believing in your students and keep advocating for them. We appreciate it a lot.
So what about Hector? So just to make sure to connect the dots, EOPS student, right? Helped change his life. He's at UC Berkeley now. He will also be receiving a President's Service Award scholarship. Another program that is making a big difference in our community is the TRIO program. We actually have 2 federal TRIO programs, federally funded TRIO programs offered in partnership with Lake Tahoe Unified School District. We serve students, more than 500 of them, at South Tahoe Middle School, South Tahoe High School, and Mount Talac High School. And a little bit of the data, students who participate in TRIO are outperforming their peers with graduation rates ranging from 98 to 100%. And these TRIO students are also much more likely to enroll in college. And as a result of our TRIO team, more than half of those TRIO students are enrolling here at LTCC. You may recognize a couple familiar faces. These are our last 2 student trustees that also came to us through the TRIO program. So that program is making a huge difference in helping bring students to college, both here and beyond. One of our President's Service Award recipients, these next 2 were honored at the foundation, so they know, but it's somebody that you all know and love, our past student trustee, Dorian Guzman Vidaude, student trustee, active in so many clubs, Promise Navigator. Let's hear from Dorian.
Hi, my name is Dorian Guzman. I am a first-gen Salvadorian American student here at Lake Tahoe Community College. On campus, you may have seen me a lot in Student Senate, as well in the Promise office as a Promise Navigator. While I was at LTCC, I really liked getting involved in different clubs and organizations here. So one of the biggest things that I enjoyed doing was my time being student trustee, as well as being very involved in the Student Senate. And also, I worked as a Promise Navigator for the Promise program here at LTCC. And I think one of the biggest things that helped me in the Lake Tahoe Promise program was the workshops that we were given the opportunity to not only plan, but to also be a part of. I am headed to the University of California of Los Angeles. I will be studying psychology with a minor in brain and health sciences. And after that, I hope to go to med school and become a psychiatrist. So fingers crossed, that's my plan. Something that I'd like campus leadership to know is that I really enjoyed all of the different events and participation that happens around campus. I think it gave me a great aspect of what student life is here at Lake Tahoe Community College. I would never change going to a 4-year because this is exactly where I was supposed to be. And I think in 50 years from now, hopefully I can see my own family members that I don't even know yet coming here, and I can tell them all the stories about how my experience changed my life and how it's going to do the exact same thing for themselves. I think it's super great that we finally have affordable housing for our incoming students at Lake Tahoe Community College. I do have to say, though, I'm a little jealous that I wasn't able to experience it, but it's fine. My one last piece of advice for President Jeff DeFranco is to codify the use of the word iteration across campus.
Thanks, Dorian, for roasting me a little bit. Dorian is at UCLA, his dream school, right? What a great success. All right, this is the final milestone that we're going to talk about. We've talked a lot about anniversaries. We're going to spend a minute here because our Lake Tahoe Community College Foundation is turning 30, and they've made such a big difference for our community, and you've heard what a difference they made for our students. During their 30 years, they've raised $18 million for this campus. In the last decade, $12 million alone, so they are raising a lot of funds with more on the way. This is the initial foundation board. There's some familiar faces. Carrie David, you're there for 30 years. If you put a flat bill cap on that guy in the middle, you'll recognize John Rice. But again, Guy was part of this board as well. And the foundation board continues now, our current board, and they're doing a lot of great things. One thing that they're doing is the student success grants, right? They are supporting our educators on campus. This is board chair Adele Lucas. They handed out $34,000 in student success grants last year, nearly $150,000 in the last 9 years since they started this program. It continues to grow. And let me show you some of the things it's doing. Field trip for the geology of national parks and monuments, right? So EMT textbook access, hot air balloon trip for the physics class. So a lot of cool things for students to provide them with additional enhancements in their classrooms through partnership with our faculty and other educators. Another core program that the foundation supports is the Lake Tahoe College Promise Program. This is a newer program. As you can see, we've seen significant growth. We have 200 Promise students enrolled and registered and ready to go this fall. We have 200 new ones and 400 total on campus, right? These are huge numbers. This is a big part of our pipeline. These are degree-seeking, full-time students. They get a lot of support, and it's making a difference. The national 3-year graduation rate for associate's degrees is 32%. Promise is up there at 42% and growing in recent years. It's making a big difference, and they're significantly outperforming their non-Promise peers. All that to say is Promise program and the support it provides and helping students stay full-time and on track to graduation is making a difference. I want to recognize another President's Service Award recipient. Cameron is here. She's also a South Tahoe grad. She's at San Jose State now. So at San Jose State now, but she's joining us here today, and she represented the students really well last year as Student Senate President. Let's hear from Cameron in her own words.
My name is Cameron Cleland, and I am a current LTCC student graduating 2025. During my time as LTC student, I work as a Promise Navigator for the Promise program. I also am the president of Student Senate, and I also volunteer frequently for the Family Resource Center, Swim Optimist, as well as the Circle K. I am a Promise student. I think the most beneficial aspect of this program was meeting everybody and also learning Antonio's journey and seeing how well-rounded he is as an individual and in his career and how far it's come from him going to LTCC, to Berkeley, and now where he's at. Being involved in other activities beyond the classroom has helped me develop my well-roundedness as an individual and all the key aspects to that. And I also think the leadership of working within Student Senate and also attending General Assembly with our team has also facilitated great collaboration and given me that experience, especially moving forward for my professional career. I am headed to San Jose State University. I am pursuing a degree in biological sciences with a concentration in systems physiology as well as minoring in chemistry. I plan to be a doctor. I think LTCC faculty has curated one of the most positive experiences I've had. and especially for being my first time college experience, it's wonderful. And the memories that I can reflect on and the friends and the networking that I have that will last me for years in the future, I'm very, very grateful for. I think the new science and tech wing that we got is really awesome, and working in the labs too. Fresh new tables and benches and everything is very, very nice and super helpful. So I'm biased. My lasting advice for President Jeff DeFranco would be to keep up with the slang. Stay young. You know, we work on this college for a reason. We keep you young.
You keep slaying. So awesome. So those are our President's Service Award recipients for this year. They are truly amazing. Maybe you three could stand up so we could just congratulate you one final time. Awesome. Go ahead and take a seat. So all three Promise students, right? All three Promise students. So you see how powerful this program is. This was one of our first cohorts back in 2019. We want to do a little where are they now? Real quickly, so Rocky Beatty, he is a software consultant working with government agencies, and he ran into Dr. Kathy Cox this summer in Copenhagen. So awesome. Chase Cunningham, right? He graduated from UC Davis with a bachelor's degree in 2024, came back, interned at Live Violence Free, and he's now off to UCLA for his master's in social work. Yay, Chase. Showed up on campus yesterday, Mari Jimenez. It was awesome to see Mari. She got it done, right? 2 years at LTCC, 2 years at Davis, in and out. She is now applying for a master's program in history. Her goal is to be a high school teacher and eventually a community college faculty member. Faculty members, you clearly made an impression on Mari. As you know, she was one of our key student leaders. It's awesome to see her thriving. So this Promise program is making a difference, and that's why we are leading that Promise Endowment campaign right now with an effort to raise millions of dollars to ensure that we could keep the promise not only to the students of tomorrow, but students in our community for decades to come. The snowdrop flower is our symbol for promise. It speaks with hope and new beginnings. And that's what the Promise student program offers students, a group of dedicated staff to support them. And there's a group of dedicated volunteers and donors and foundation board members that are coming together right now to raise money to ensure there's many more great student stories like the ones you heard today from our students. So what the foundation has done is made a huge difference on this campus. And scholarships and Promise are a big part of it, right? Scholarships being one of their core functions. As you can see, in the last less than a decade, we've increased our scholarship giving to students from 103,000 to almost 370,000. We doubled the number of scholarships recipients because of you, our donors, and our board members that are here today. We are changing lives. So early in my address, I shared the idea of focusing on making a positive impact in our sphere of influence, right? What can we do here in our community? And we know that these scholarships make a difference to our community. They change lives for our students, and they honor our community as well. So I want to tell you about 3 new scholarships. The first one I want to talk about is the LLG scholarship. Why is that not loading? There you go. The LLG scholarship, or the Live Like Jada scholarship. But before I do, I want to acknowledge that this past June, there was a tragedy that struck our Tahoe community, and Jada Lancelotti's life was taken too soon. The Lancelottis are here with us today, and I want to let you know this whole community's heart aches for you so deeply. And I know, sadly, we cannot go back. And I know we've talked a lot about how to go forward. And within my sphere of influence, I'm going to use my influence to make a difference here in this community so no parent and no family has to face what you faced. So the first thing I want to do, and this isn't mine, this is Charles Lancelotti, this is her dad's idea, but I want to share it so it gets more eyes on it. This idea of slow down and connect in life. Right? So when you approach a stop sign or a crosswalk, slow down, connect, make eye contact. Who's around? Let's be present, right? I know I'm not good at this always, not being present. Like, how do we get in the moment? And I think it's also just a good metaphor for our lives and our community. Like, how do we slow down and connect more in our lives together? So I said we cannot go backwards, but we can move forward. So I want to share what we're going to do with the blessing of her family to try and help improve our community. The first one is this September 27th on Saturday, we are offering through our Connect program a free community bike safety and awareness class for the youth in our community. We want school-aged kids to learn about safe ways to school. Unfortunately, we need to teach them about defensive bike riding tactics, right? Everyone that shows up is going to receive one of these flags that will be installed on their bike. And Charles and Kelly, I hope it brings you a little solace when you drive around town and you see this throughout our community, because this has hit our communities, our students in a very deep way. And that LLG, right? So that's one thing, and it's just the first of things. We also have to focus on driver safety. It's actually something we do. We provide a winter driving class for our employees. We're going to find a way to make that available to the community as well. So that's part of what we're going to do to take action. But also, in addition to action, we want to honor this young, remarkable young woman. And through the support of a donor, the foundation is in a position to provide an annual scholarship for the next decade to a South Tahoe High School grad coming to LTCC. That way, the students that knew Jada and her sisters and the family and that were impacted by this can carry on her memory, and it could help support them in their education and help keep her legacy alive so we could remember her and all the brightness that she brought this to the community. So with that, I know it's so small in the scheme of things, but we're going to continue to work together to kind of do our part and also help support this bike safety for the students that are in our community. And I'm going to move on now. All right. So there's 3 scholarships I'm going to talk about. That was the first. These next 2 should be easier. The next one is a scholarship I'm so proud of. It's the LTCC Legacy Scholarship. And what this scholarship is about is all of your legacy. And I say that the greatest endorsement an employee could ever give the college is sending their child to LTCC. And this scholarship reinforces just that. So a couple familiar faces here. You'll notice our staff and faculty there with their kids that graduated last year. Each of these students got a $1,000 scholarship as they graduated and transferred on to university. And we're going to continue this, right? We have some donor funds to support this. So just so you know, if you're part of the team, if you're a permanent employee here at LTCC, encourage your kid to come here. Kid, grandchild, or dependent, grandparents also do good work. Get their associate's degree. Make sure they get more than 50% of their credits at LTCC, and then continue on to that 4-year university, right? That's the ultimate goal. And they will get this $1,000 LTCC Legacy Scholarship. So who's in? Got a couple folks interested in that? All right. Rounding third here, coming home. End of the presentation. So the final scholarship I want to talk about is a scholarship that got started in the last couple years and is now going to grow exponentially. And this is the Schiller Foundation Economic Scholarship. And this scholarship is about raising the public discourse about economics. And this scholarship seeks to encourage students to take economics classes, be exposed to economics, so it helps inform their decisions in life and in the world. So we already have some Schiller scholars, right? These were some of the scholars that were awarded these awards at our past scholarship ceremony. They are there with Dr. Brad Schiller, who's here today, and I'll be saying more about Brad briefly. So we've already been supporting these students, but we're about to see a significant change. But first, I want to talk to you about the man behind this scholarship. And Brad, I don't mean to make you uncomfortable about it, but you have some amazing credentials and you got an amazing story that I want to share. So Dr. Bradley Schiller, like us, is an educator. He is a lifetime university faculty member who's taught at some of the world's most prestigious universities. He's a distinguished economist. He advised presidents from Richard Nixon to President Obama and many in between. He's a prolific author who's sold more than 2 million textbooks. They've been used by more than 5 million students. Some of his most notable works, The Economics of Poverty and Discrimination and The Economy Today, are foundational texts in their field, right? He is a leader in this field, and we're honored to have him here in our community. And what he was really known for, which I'm sure our faculty could appreciate, is taking real-world issues like poverty, discrimination, and tax reform and connecting them to core economic principles. How do the things we are learning about actually impact the world around us? He's been featured in publications such as the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Washington Post. You get the point. You can imagine my nerves today presenting an economic impact report in front of a nationally renowned economist. You'll have to let me know after, Brad, how I did. But Brad is committed to education, he is committed to this community, and he is committed to the students we serve. And he has put his money where his mouth is with that commitment and made $1 million contribution to the Schiller Foundation Economic Scholarship. This is a scholarship that will forever change the lives of so many students that walk through the doors of LTCC. A couple things about it, I'll just hit a couple high points. Look at this. It's up to $10,000 a year for 2 years, right? This is thinking about Community College 3.0. How do we not only help students transfer, but how do we help them complete? So these students, they must complete 2 economic courses here at LTCC, B or better, so they got to apply themselves, transfer on to a 4-year university, maintain that 3.0 GPA at the 4-year university. There's a couple more details, and they could get up to $10,000 to help with their school fees and their other needs towards completing a degree. It is a life-changing scholarship here at LTCC. Brad, could you please stand so we can thank you? Sorry for you on the spot. Amazing. Again, Brad, thank you for your amazing generosity. Brad is sitting here with many of our foundation friends. I want to give a special shout out to Dr. Guy Leese. He's not in this photo, but he was in a very important meeting and said, Guy, do you have anything to add? And Guy just gave this beautiful story about the college and how much it impacts our students and how much it changes life. And I was like, Guy, you are hired. So Guy, I just want to acknowledge your role in all this as well. But as you can see, it is clearly an exciting time at LTCC. We are 50 and we are thriving. We are making the difference in lives of our students and our community. And I want to encourage all of you to keep doing the great work. All of you are part of this puzzle. Those of you from the last 50 years, those of you that are new this last month, it is you that is making this possible. Please join me in having a great academic year. And I want to let you and let the world know we are not going to miss our shot. Thank you, everyone.